John Donne, writing in 1600 AD, said, "I shall rise from the dead. I shall see the Son of God, the Son of glory, and shine myself as that sun shines. I shall be united to the Ancient of Days, to God himself, who had no morning, never began. No man ever saw God and lived. And yet I shall not live until I see God. And when I have seen him, I shall never die." Psalm 63:1, "O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water." One of the things God does in us in this world through the difficulties we face, through times of dryness and barrenness, and through the trials of life, and the loved one who has cancer, the disease that we struggle with, the terrible accident that happened. Talked with numbers of you who have shared, even in brief conversations, some of the horrific things that have happened in your life, some of the huge losses you have experienced. And yet, in those times, God uses our helplessness to turn to him. In our weakness, there is strength. As 2 Corinthians 12 says, God says to Paul and to us, "My grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness." That's actually a pretty good deal. We provide the weakness, and he provides the strength. And you know what? When we think it's all in our control and everything's going our way, you know what happens? We don't have to, we think, depend upon him and look to him and get our answers from him and get our encouragement from him. We sort of try to get it everywhere else or think that we're sufficient in and of ourselves. And in a heartbeat, the phone call comes. You get the news. This happens. And then it's like, "Lord, what can I do? I have no one but you." And he says, "I want you to understand that. Yes, there are other people in our lives that support us and encourage us, but the goodness of God has a nature that there are lower goodnesses, derivative goodnesses. But even your friend who encourages you and puts his or her arm around you in the time of crisis is an ambassador of God, a representative of God, a part of the body of Christ, and under the direction of the head. And whenever something happens that encourages you, see it as from its ultimate hand, not just the immediate, "Oh, I'm glad that happened, how lucky." No. It's the providence of God who is looking over you and wants to draw you near.